You should see me pocket board, stranger.
I've got weapons forgiven,
Stuck-up
armor
twat.
forgotten.
That's my girl. Well, bit more overgrown than I remember, but this is definitely it. First found my way to the cave when a heavy snow blew in. The creatures in here don't pay me no mind. Spriggans probably weren't that threatened by a scrawny lad in his 11th year. Come back as often as I could after that, till we moved on west. Hidden gem, eh?
This place is incredible.
Glad you like it. Wasn't sure I'd set foot here again, much less bring someone. Wonder if I left anything behind.
Let's look around.
And try not to disturb the locals, eh? Ah, this is looking familiar. I think the locals called this, Shadow Green Cavern. That's it. The coast up the way is covered in caverns like this. Pretty sure smugglers used them to stash away contraband. Probably still do. Aye, they're very territorial. Doesn't end well for most who encounter them unawares. Would you look at that? You know what? I feel like such a lucky man getting to know you.
Was this your toy sword?
Ha! Look at that! I remember losing this thing. And outgrown it anyways. So I got my first real sword not long after that. Can't believe you found it. And still in one piece.
This place is important to you, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is. Hey, thanks for coming back here with me. What do you need? Moving on. There's something I never thought I'd see again. first word that comes to mind is ugly.
Knew it! Come on!
Barely a scratch.
Fuck's sake!
Shut the fuck up!
Damn you!
Oblivion king, you!
Fuck! You're pathetic!
You bastard! You're not gonna like how this ends. Die!
You think you stand a chance? You're pathetic!
Here, over your own. That's it. That's Nettlebane. It's not what I expected.
Stay out of trouble, Elf. I can't bear it. Make it stop.
What is it? What has happened to the Gildergreen? I have traveled long here to worship beneath its branches.
So sick.
It was taken by a lightning strike. Wish I had time to deal with it, but it's hard enough with all these wounded from the war.
Please, don't just let it stay like this. It's disgraceful.
I really don't have time to deal with you right now. Please just let me get back to my work.
I pray for you.
But this is
help
supposed
me
to be your
a more
work.
compassionate sword and to forgive those who piss me off.
So, have you gotten Nettlebane back from those filthy hag-ravens yet?
I've found Nettlebane for you.
Oh, Well, I honestly didn't expect you to come back. Of course I'm glad you did. Now, I don't really want to touch that thing, though. Do you think you could handle the next steps?
What needs to be done?
Eldergleam Sanctuary Grove is to the east of here. You can use Nettlebane to retrieve some of its sap.
The fever.
Was I correct in hearing that you were traveling to the Grove of the Eldergleam?
Can I help you?
I am a traveler, a pilgrim. I follow the voice of Kinnereth wherever it can be heard. I've dreamed of seeing Eldergleam for years. Might I travel alongside you? I promise not to get in the way.
But I don't seek their blessings. The man should be brave enough to make his own way in the world without relying on help
You're
from
welcome
the
to join me.
gods.
I thank you for your kindness.
You seem like a stranger in these lands. Perhaps you're not familiar with the law of Kinnereth?
I was raised as a Nord.
So
I know
sick.
the stories.
Can hardly
My
stand
God
it.
prayed to Keens sometimes. And when we were travelling and sleeping under the stars, when the rain would fall, he would tell me how it was the tears of Keen, weeping the loss of her beloved husband.
Yes, she's known by many names. I understand you will not ask for her blessing, but I will say a prayer anyway for you and your companion, to bid you well on your journeys.
Thank you. I appreciate the gesture.
The Gildergreen Sanctuary.
You want to do this the hard way? Fine. You can go to hell. You're dead!
Come on!
Don't die.
Hell yeah! That the best you can do? I've sorta cursed you. Let's see what else.
Those hot springs are tempting.
Hello there, friend. You come to enjoy the sights and sounds of this beautiful sanctuary as I have? Truly remarkable, isn't it?
that's really the Eldergleam tree. I wondered if I'd ever lay my eyes on it. It's beautiful.
I had no idea you were a woman of violence. What exactly are you intending to do here?
I need sap to fix the Gildergreen.
You would violate this marvel of Kinnereth's glory to fix that half-breed stump in Whiterun? That's abominable. Barbaric! I'll have no part of this. Why didn't you tell me what you intended?
Do you have a better idea?
Well, yes. There is something. It won't repair the tree back at the temple, but we could bring them a new one.
What did you have in mind?
Follow me. I think I can convince the tree to help us. The Eldergleam has blessed us with a sapling. You should take it to Whiterun. Danica will want to see that the true blessings of nature lie in renewal, not a slavish maintenance.
What will you do now?
I believe I'll stay here and bask in Eldergleam's warmth a bit longer. Good luck on your travels. May Kinnereth's wind carry only the sweetest scents. Yes?
That's done. That's a beautiful sapling. Danica will be pleased. I know that look. You're either going to ask me something, or ask me to do something. Right, let's get going.
Hey!
Take this and hold on to it. I'll be back for it later. I'll pay you good. Don't lose it.
We're routed! Fall back!
The Atronach stone.
Did you see someone run past just now?
Here you gain magic, absorb spells, but it takes you longer to
Yes.
recover.
How did you get this?
I'm supposed
Never
to carry
mind.
you around in a
Here.
week.
It's not much, but it's something. I'm going to track down that thief and murder him.
You are
You will not work away alive when my blade... That's the end of it. This feels good. Much better, thank you.
Alright, hand over your valuables, or I'll gut you like a fish. Don't you walk away from me!
Summon God! Son of a bitch had it coming. If I told you how good it feels when you touch me, heal me. I mean heal me, right?
What can I do for you?
Who are you and what are you doing way out here?
Well, hello to you too, hon. Name's Darnette Lavin. My friends call me Darnie, but you can call me Dar. I'm a Merethic paleontologist, and I'm doing what I do. Dig for fossils.
Merethic what?
I'm a scientist, specialize in finding fossils. Some are pretty rare and impressive, and hold a nice price tag to the right buyer. And all of them tell a tale. I work for the Gwillem University in High Rock, and we're cataloging any fossils we can find from all over Tamriel.
For what purpose?
Well, hun, it gives us a better understanding of where we're going, and where we've been. Gives us some clues about our origins. And also shows where certain creatures originated from. Say someone claims that giant terror birds originated in elsewhere, for example. I go and dig around in Valenwood and find some much bigger, much older fossils of terror birds than the ones they found in elsewhere. Means they were wrong, and I get some notoriety. People pay me to dig around in another place, and the cycle continues.
Interesting.
Well, maybe not to the casual onlooker, but there's a whole academic community who get absolutely giddy over it.
I've actually come across a few fossils myself.
Yeah, you can tend to find them anytime you are digging around in the right place. Dig in the right place and any fool can find them. The art is in bringing them out in one piece. Nice to see someone other than my colleagues taking an interest.
How hard is it to find good fossils?
It's pretty tedious work sometimes, especially with the bigger, more complete finds. You can get some fossils around ore or gem deposits, but the best place is at the fossil beds around this area. They're pretty damned productive. Plus, I've returned a couple weeks later to the same place and managed to find new things I missed the first time. The larger specimens are very rare and nearly impossible to come across sometimes, but if you really are interested, I might be able to help. If you put 5 common fossils in my fossil crate, you can get one of a more impressive quality. Collect up a few of those and stash 5 for an even better piece, and so on. I usually grade fossils in 4 major rarity groups. Most of the first couple of tiers of stuff are simple enough to come by, so long as you don't muck it up. The third is pretty rare, and the fourth are those ones damn near impossible to find. Save for once in a while, but the hunt goes on, as they say.
But why trade for more common fossils if you can get them that easily?
Research, dearie. Finding one means you know something existed, but if you find more, you begin to understand them better. And that takes lots of fossils and lots of work. Great. Now, I want to be done for the day and have an ale. Fancy seeing you.
So, do you enjoy your work?
Definitely. Sure, things can get a little dull sometimes out here, all alone, without a drinking buddy to play cards with, but it's a living.
Have you ever thought about joining a group effort?
Well, I do work through Gwillem, but honestly, I get passed over when they fund projects, and they won't help me with support staff. I end up just going about my business and doing my own thing. Why? Did you have a proposal of some sort? Well, that sounds like a pretty damn fine operation you have there. Probably a little bit outside the realm of what I do. But I'd be happy to tag along and check out areas that are too dangerous for me to handle all on my own. Sure thing, boss. Count me in.
I have a job for you.
Sure thing. What did you have in mind?
I'd like you to go out and hunt for fossils.
You bet. Got that itch to dig a ditch. Be back in a few days.
Come here, do your worst. Soul. I can't thank you enough. Do you need something?
About surviving out here.
Aye.
I'm exhausted.
Maybe we should rest for the night.
Could you set up a campsite?
Okay. Give me a minute and I'll set up a tent. You'll be safe and warm inside. Aye. Hello again.
A smelter? You have a smelter now? Seriously?
What? I thought it'd come in handy with what you've been working on your smithing, eh? Besides, keeps the place toasty and warm, it does.
Huh. It is pretty toasty, isn't it? You don't think it's too much to lug around?
It's slightly lighter than it looks.
Kaidan, what are those garden spots for? I don't remember seeing those before.
You collect a fair bit of plants and things, and I thought it'd be a good idea if you had a place to grow the ones that you use the most.
Oh, you did that for me? Thank you, Kaidan. That will help me a lot.
I'm glad. Just do me a favour, and don't be planting any fungal pods, eh?
Kaidan, where did this enchanting table come from?
Oh, that. Notice you work on your skills when you come across one. I thought it'd be useful to have your own here.
That is really going to be helpful. Thank you, Kaidan.
It wasn't any trouble. I'm glad you like it.
Kaidan, when did you get those?
Eh? Ah, the workbench and that. Aye. Well, the way you've been swinging that hammer around any forge, you see, I figured you'd use one.
I will. I suppose this means you'll be wanting me to repair your gear too.
Well, if you're offering, I won't be saying no, eh?
Where did that bookshelf come from?
I notice you've been reading a lot. So I built you a place to keep some of your books.
Wait, are you saying you made this shelf for me?
Well, it's nothing fancy, but I made sure it's sturdy, so it'll hold a fair amount of them.
This was very thoughtful of you, Kaidan. I love it. Thank you so much.
Good. I'm glad you like it. All right. Hmm?
Any thoughts?
Ah, it's nothing. Don't you ever mind that. All the comforts of home in an itty-bitty living space.
Old journal. Modest, maybe, but Brynjar didn't know the date. Last seed. Forgot to turn my boots upside down before I slept. Got bit on the toe by a spider that climbed inside while I was asleep. Stupid boot kept rubbing against it while we were tracking down our bounty today, and now I got a blister. Brynjar laughed at me when we finally set up camp and said I was shuffling around like a hag raven. I hope a spider bites his arse tonight. Scrimshaw is fun. Today, last seed. Really bad storm today. Means we can't travel. Brynjar said he doesn't want to risk me getting sick again. Don't know what he's talking about. I ain't been sick since I was real little, and that was only that one time. He's acting like I almost died. I don't mind not traveling, so I ain't complaining though. He said he'd teach me some more about scrimshaw today. Said I'm getting real good at it, and next time he sells his pieces to his trader friend, I might could get a few coins for mine, too. Saw Eric! We stayed for a whole week this time. He said it's frostfall. I had fun with Eric this trip. He got a book off some trader that told a story about bandits that live in trees and robbed people to give their coin away to the poor. We're going to do that instead of being explorers, except we'll keep some of the coin because I told him boiled cream treats and horker don't buy themselves. We got started building ourselves a fort up in an old pine not too far from the road. Figured it'd be a good place to watch for people we could be robbing. We even slept up there a couple of nights. First house I've ever had of my own. It was nice. Bit drafty though, and Eric got scared a few times by some noises, but it was only some critters and a wolf howling nowhere near us. He ain't used to sleeping out in the woods though, so I let him keep my old sword by him so he'd feel safe. I figure he can't cut himself with it, and I'm better with my dagger now anyway. I'm never getting a sword. Sun's dusk. Brynjar didn't want to talk much all day and seemed real sad tonight. I asked him why, and he said it was someone's birthday he used to know and lost a long time ago. Wouldn't say more than that, no matter how much I asked. Before we went to sleep, he said he had something he wanted to give me. I thought maybe he meant I could finally carry my mom's sword, or maybe he got me one of my own. Instead, he gave me the old ring he always wears on a cord around his neck. Said he thought I should have it now. He seemed happy enough when I put it on after he made me swear not to take it off. But I would have rather gotten a sword. Today was the best day, but tomorrow will be even better. I think it's sun's dusk. Brynjar said we had enough coin to keep our bellies full for a few days, so he didn't need to find any new bounty work today. Instead, he showed me how to make a bow. A real one. Not like the ones I make me and Eric. Those aren't good for killing anything bigger than a rabbit. This one, Brynjar said, could take down real game. Since we have some time and are in the reach, he's going to take me hunting tomorrow. Said there's no better place to learn how to hunt like a man than in these mountains. He asked what I wanted to take for my first kill, and I said a saber cat. Same as him when he was my age. He didn't say nothing then, but I think it made him happy because I got me a double helping of stew tonight. Brynjar said I got to get to sleep soon, but first he's going to watch me sharpen the knife he made so we can head out first thing and find us a cat. Brynjar said stop asking him what day it is and eat my damn supper, but I think it's sun's dusk. Brynjar had to go to Solitude and said I couldn't go. That the business he had ain't a place for a boy like me, and that city ain't either after what happened last time. I think he's still mad that the shopkeeper lady yelled at him, even though I said I was real sorry. I thought them rags on her counter was for wiping and washing. I didn't know people just tied them around their necks to act all fancy. At least Brynjar wasn't mad. Not at me, anyway. He paid her the coin she wanted and told me next time in a shop to wipe my hands on my pants if I get horker grease on my fingers, or it'll be the last time I get me some horker till I'm grown. Got me a fancy new wiping cloth now, though. Don't know the day or the date neither, but I think it's evening star. I have a secret. One I ain't telling nobody, not even Eric. Been having fun camping on by myself when Brynjar is gone. Only had a bad storm today that came in off the water quick while I was exploring. Couldn't see nothing, and I was getting cold real fast. I didn't get scared, though. Did what Brynjar told me and looked for a place to burrow down like animals do. Found me a cave. Biggest cave I've ever seen. It's got a lake full of fish and even huge trees growing in here. Made myself a little camp down by the water and cooked up a nice fish for my supper. Saw some spriggans watching me from up high, but Brynjar always told me they're a lot like bees. Don't poke around and anger them unless you want to get stung in the arse, or worse. I like it here. It feels kind of like it's a place of my own. Well, mine and the spriggans, I guess. Seeing as they were here first. Sounds like the storm is almost over. That's good, because I need to go meet Brynjar in the morning, or he'll probably get real worried. I'm going to come back here again as soon as I can, though. Brynjar says it's maybe Fredis, and probably still Evening Star. I can't do anything right today. I sneezed when I was aiming my bow, trying to get the deer we were hunting, and spooked it so it ran off. I tried to clean some fish Brynjar caught for our supper, but my knife slipped and I cut my thumb. Then I dropped my plate in the dirt and stubbed my toe on a rock right after. Brynjar said he wasn't hungry and gave me his supper. Told me bad moods are like dirt on your breeches. You gotta shake 'em off before you sleep or they'll weigh you down, still clinging to you the next day. Easy for him to say. He ain't got a cut thumb or swollen toe now, do he? I don't know the date, but I heard a bard on the trail tell Brynjar that it's pretty warm for being not quite Grain's hand. Feels like I'll never get as good at fighting as Brynjar is. None of the bounties I've seen him take down ever come close to beating him, no matter how big they are. I asked him how he knows so much and got so good at fighting. He said he spent all his life fighting for other people's reasons, but now he fights for his own. That it makes a man fight harder when what he fights for matters to him. He said that someday, if I was lucky, I'd find something I thought was worth fighting for too. I don't really know what that means. I asked him what his reason was, but he said that was enough questions for tonight, and he wanted to be on the road early, so we had to sleep. Leaving Skyrim. Don't know the date or the day neither, but it's raining a lot, so it's probably Rain's hand. Maybe. Brynjar said we got to head to High Rock in a few days. He ain't real happy about it either. I guess that last bounty he took didn't go well. He said we need to get out of Skyrim until things blow over, because now he has a bounty and we can't afford to pay it. He headed up to meet with the Kashit. No. Kashit? I don't know. However those catfolk from elsewhere are called. Brynjar is going to trade for some supplies for the trip. Took all the scrimshaw we've been making with him to sell. Told me I'd done real good on mine, and it'd bring a fair amount of the coin we'd need. I hope we come back soon, because Eric and I were going to put a roof on our hideout the next time I visit, and plan out what kinds of people we were going to give that bad people's coin to when we rob them. I think we should start with helping people who get bounties they don't do nothing to deserve. Stuck in my cave for one last visit. One of the Spriggans waved and threw some snowberries down for me today. I think maybe they might like me now. I'm really going to miss it here. Undercover Guard's Journal. 4E201 18 Sun's Hand. I've been asked to investigate rumors that one of the inns to the west is providing refuge for bandits. Several characters traveling to Windhelm have gone missing as of late, and the captain feels it may be related to the Crimson Dirks. I have some business to finish in solitude, but it shouldn't take longer than a week. 4E201 25 Sun's Height. While the patrons at Night Gate Inn were uncooperative and brusque, I don't believe any of them are bandits. I've asked our informant to travel to the inn to confirm, but in the meantime, I will continue monitoring their behavior. 4E201 16 Last Seed. The Bosmer did not recognize the Nord, although I vacillate on whether I trust his opinion. I pointed out that it has been months since he has provided any actionable intelligence on his former cohorts. In response, he conveniently gave up the location of the Argonian bandit Pale Eyes, information I feel he has been holding on to for some time. For now, the Bosmer remains an asset, but any information he provides should be vetted thoroughly. Supposedly, the Argonian is camped on the shoreline west of Northwatch Keep. We can alert our Thalmor friends to take care of the matter. They won't like having a wanted criminal loitering so close to their stronghold. In the meantime, I will leave my documentation here in the event further surveillance is needed on the inn patrons. Letter from a loyal employee. Dear Marcus, I am sending you this letter to let you know that the irresponsibility of your protégé is legion. I did not dare to criticize the presence of a sorcerer in the factory, but to entrust him and his profane art with the responsibility of this whole enterprise seems to me very dangerous. But I don't think using magic to boost sales or improve our lanterns will come without bad consequences. Don't take my warning lightly. Your most loyal employee. Letter from Kaidan, 10 First Seed, 201. Lirya, I've seen you hammering away at making armor. Thought these might come in handy. I've not much skill with the forge myself, but turning some hide and lumps of ore into something that can protect a person from harm is not something to take lightly. Kai.
Tragedy in Black, the story of a youth summoning a Dremora. A folktale from the time of the Oblivion Crisis. The Dremora looked at the young boy with disdain. He looked to be no more than 17 or 18, barely on the cusp of manhood.
You? You have summoned me?
Mother says I'm good with spells. Someday, I'm gonna be a wizard. Maybe even Archmage.
And what would your mother know of magic, boy?
She's a wizard. She's an enchanter at the Arcane University.
Ah, another dabbler in the mystic arts. I'm certain she is barely mediocre.
You shut up! I read the scroll. I get to tell you what to do.
The Dremora was silent. Compulsion bound his voice.
I want to know how to make a magic dress. I need it for her birthday.
The Dremora's answer was more silence.
You have to tell me. It's in the rules.
Freed from the previous compulsion, the Dremora answered.
First, you need a soul gem. I happen to have one, and will gladly give it to you for so noble a cause.
Really? Why do I need it?
With a hidden smile, the Dremora handed over the dull black gem.
It is not enough to cast a spell upon an inert object. Magic requires thought, intent, will, and emotion. The soul powers the enchantment. The bigger the soul, the more powerful the enchantment.
So how big is the one in this soul gem?
Oh, that one is empty. You'll have to fill it. But it can hold the largest of souls easily. Do you know how to do that?
No,
the young man said sullenly.
Let me show you. You cast a spell like this.
The tendrils of the soul trap spell spilled from his fingers and surrounded the boy. The young man's eyes went wide.
I didn't feel anything,
he complained.
How about now?
The Dremora asked, plunging his talons into the youth's rib cage. His heart beat only once before it was pulled from his chest. Quickly, the Dremora snatched back the black soul gem, just as the youth died. His soul tried to flee, but it was trapped by the spell and drawn into the gem. Only black soul gems can hold the souls of men and elves.
Your mother obviously never told you. To accept a freely given gift from a summoned Dremora breaks the conjuration, freeing the summoned from the summoner. Now, let's go find your mother. After all, I have another black soul gem.
Breathing Water by Haliel Miriam. Lessons on water breathing. He walked through the dry, crowded streets of Balfell, glad to be among so many strangers. In the wharves of Vivec he had no such anonymity. They knew him to be a smuggler, but here he could be anyone. A lower-class peddler, perhaps. A student, even. Some people even pushed against him as he walked past, as if to say, we would not dream of being so rude as to acknowledge that you don't belong here. Serene Relas was not in any of the taverns, but he knew she was somewhere, perhaps behind a tenement window, or poking around in a dunghill for an exotic ingredient for some spell or another. He knew little of the ways of sorceresses, but that they always seemed to be doing something eccentric. Because of this prejudice, he nearly passed by the old Dunmer woman having a drink from a well. It was too prosaic, but he knew from the look of her that she was Serene Relas, the great sorceress. I have gold for you, he said to her back, if you will teach me the secrets of water breathing. She turned around. A wide, wet grin stretched across her weathered features. I ain't breathing it, boy. I'm just having a drink. Don't mock me, he said stiffly. Either you're Serene Relas, and you will teach me the spell of water breathing, or you aren't. Those are the only possibilities. If you're going to learn to breathe water, you're going to have to learn there are more possibilities than that, boy. The School of Alteration is all about possibilities, changing patterns, making things what they could be. Maybe I ain't Serene Relas, but I can teach how to breathe water. She wiped her mouth dry. Or maybe I am Serene Relas, and I won't. Or maybe even I can teach you to breathe water, but you can't learn. I'll learn, he said simply. Why don't you just buy yourself a spell of water breathing, or a potion over at the Mages Guild? She asked. That's how it's generally done. They're not powerful enough, he said. I need to be underwater for a long time. I'm willing to pay whatever you ask, but I don't want any questions. I was told you could teach me. What's your name, boy? That's a question, he replied. His name was Therian Winloff, but in Vivec they called him the Tollman. His job, such as it was collecting a percentage of the loot from the smugglers when they came into harbor to bring to his boss in the Kamona Tong. Of the value of that percentage, he earned another percentage. In the end, it was very small indeed. He had scarcely any gold of his own, and what he had, he gave to Serene Relas. The lessons began that very day. The sorceress brought her pupil, who she simply called Boy, out to a low sandbank along the sea. "I will teach you a powerful spell for water breathing," she said. "But you must become a master of it. As with all spells and all skills, the more you practice, the better you get. Even that ain't enough. To achieve true mastery, you must understand what it is you're doing. It ain't simply enough to perform a perfect thrust of a blade. You must also know what you're doing and why." "Well, that's common sense," said Therian. "Yes, it is," said Serene, closing her eyes. "But the spells of alteration are all about uncommon sense. The infinite possibilities, breaking the sky, swallowing space, dancing with time, setting ice on fire, believing that the unreal may become real. You must learn the rules of the cosmos, and then to break them." "That sounds very difficult," replied Therian, trying to keep a straight face. Serene pointed to the small silver fish darting along the water's edge. "They don't find it so. They breathe water just fine." "But that's not magic." "What I'm saying to you, boy, is that it is." For several weeks, Serene drilled her student, and the more he understood about what he was doing, and the more he practiced, the longer he could breathe underwater. When he found that he could cast the spell for as long as he needed, he thanked the sorceress and bade her farewell. "There's one last lesson I have to teach you," she said. "You must learn that desire is not enough. The world will end your spell no matter how good you are, and no matter how much you want it." "That's a lesson I'm happy not to learn," he said, and left at once for the short journey back to Vivec. The wharves were much the same, with all the same smells, the same sounds, and the same characters. His boss had found a new tollman, he learned from his mates. They were still looking out for the smuggler's ship Moradrung, but they had given up hope of ever seeing it. Therian knew they would not. He had seen it sink from the wharf a long time ago. On a moonless night, he cast his spell and dove into the thrashing purple waves. He kept his mind on the world of possibilities, that books could sing, that green was blue, that water was air, that every stroke and kick brought him closer to a sunken ship filled with treasure. He felt magic surge around him as he pushed his way deeper down. Ahead he saw a ghostly shadow of the Moradrung, its mast billowing in a wind of deep water currents. He also felt his spell begin to fade. He could break reality long enough to breathe water all the way back up to the surface, but not enough to reach the ship. The next night he dove again, and this time the spell was stronger. He could see the vessel in detail, clouded over and dusted in sediment, the wound in its hull where it had struck the reef, a glint of gold beckoning from within. But still he felt reality closing in, and he had to surface. The third night he made it into the steerage, past the bloated corpses of the sailors, nibbled and picked apart by fish, their glassy eyes bulging, their mouths stretched open. Had they only known the spell, he thought briefly, but his mind was more occupied by the gold scattered along the floor, the boxes that contained them shattered. He considered scooping up as much as he could carry into his pockets, but a sturdy iron box seemed to bespeak more treasures. On the wall was a row of keys. He took each down and tried it on the locked box, but none opened it. One key, however, was missing. Therian looked around the room. Where could it be? His eyes went to the corpse of one of the sailors, floating in a dance of death not far from the box, his hands tightly clutching something. It was a key. When the ship had begun to sink, this sailor had evidently gone for the iron box. Whatever was in it had to be very valuable. Therian took the sailor's key and opened the box. It was filled with broken glass. He rummaged around until he felt something solid, and pulled out 2 flasks of some kind of wine. He smiled as he considered the foolishness of the poor alcoholic. This was what was important to the sailor, out of all the treasures in the Moradrung. Then, suddenly, Therian Winloth felt reality. He had not been paying attention to the grim, tireless advance of the world on his spell. It was fading away, his ability to breathe water. There was no time to surface. There was no time to do anything. As he sucked in, his lungs filled with cold, briny water. A few days later, the smugglers working on the wharf came upon the drowned body of the former tollman. Finding a body in the water in Vivec was not in itself noteworthy, but the subject that they discussed over many bottles of flint was how did it happen that he drowned with 2 potions of water breathing in his hands.
Something I can do for you?
Would you read from this book to me?
Another one? Alright. Alright, give it here. You use this to improve your one-handed skill. Alright. Here it goes.
Certainly not, kind sir. I am here but to clean your chambers.
Aye, I bet she is. She's gonna bloody clean things, alright. Is that all you've come here for, little one? My chambers?
I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid.
Come off it. Her name says it all. Lifts her tail. Oh, God. So you are, my dumpling. And a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail.
You embarrass me, sir.
Fear not. You are safe here. With me. Quite the opposite, actually. Dirty old man.
I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not.
Cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here, polish my spear. Oh, God, I bet this guy has the smallest spear in Skyrim.
Oh, goodness, it's huge. It could take me all night.
She must be blind. And slow. Plenty of time, my sweet, plenty of time. What is that? Ah, the stains on this book. Ah, God, it stinks. I hope this is only water damage. Ah, shit, it's stuck to my fingers. Right, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm taking a bath. Disgusting. Aye?
Would you read from this book to me?
Aye, as you wish. Ah, why do you insist on me reading this smut to you? I know why. You love the sound of my voice, don't you?
My goodness, that is quite a loaf, but however shall it fit in my oven?
Oh, what the fuck is this crap? Alright, moving on. Crantius Coltor replies. The loaf isn't ready for baking, my sweet. It has yet to rise. Well, that's what he gets for skipping the foreplay.
If only we could hurry that along, how would I accomplish such a task?
Oh, my foolish little Argonian maid. You must use your hands.
You wish me to knead the loaf? Here?
Of course.
But what if the mistress catches me? Your loaf was meant to satisfy her appetite.
Do not fret, my delicate flower. I'll satisfy the mistress' cravings later. Oh, what a scoundrel. Yeah, I almost like this guy. What's that look for? I was only joking.
Very well, but I'm afraid my oven isn't hot enough. It could take hours.
Aye, if he's got no experience, it bloody well will. Plenty of time, my sweet, plenty of time. Ah, what the... Oh, some of the pages are stuck together. Where did you find this bloody thing? Oh. I think this book's been used for something other than reading. I need to wash my hands. Quick. What is it this time? Aye. myself, sleeping out under the stars. But it's nice to be out of the wind tonight. Let's take a water break. I don't want you getting dehydrated now, eh?
Let's press on, I'll be okay.
Alright, alright.
Are you feeling alright, Kaidan?
Oh, why are you asking me that?
Each time I glance back at you, I swear your face looks more flushed.
Because you keep on catching me staring at your arse.
Sorry? Could you stop mumbling for once? Swear it's going to drive me mad.
Only fair, since being this close to you is driving me mad. Oh, that's fine. Absolutely fine.
Can you pack up the campsite?
Ugh, gonna need to re-stitch that seam when we come tonight. Won't be holding if we get bad weather.
What do you need?
I'm hungry. Kaidan, I don't suppose you have any sweet rolls, do you?
Oh, I meant, yeah, last one. Suppose that means you better eat it slowly, I mean, savour it. Shit. Take your time. Just fucking here.
Are you sure? Don't mean to be a bother by asking you to share yours.
It ain't the sharing that gets me fucking bothered. It's the noises you make eating it. Fuck me. No, I'm great, really. You enjoy. Is that something I can do for you? All right.
Do you have the Eldergleam sap? But I can't run the temple without the support of people who are inspired by the Gildergreen. How can this little tree bring new worshippers?
Maurice said that renewal is more important than maintenance.
You're right, of course. It can be hard to hear the winds of Kynareth when all you hear are the rabble in the temple. Death feeds new life. I'm sure that in time, this little sapling will grow into a new Gildergreen that will tower over Whiterun. Thank you. Grace of Kynareth be with you.
Skjor says that I have the strength of Ysgramor, and my brother has his smarts.
I've taken care of the problem.
Another job well done. Your payment is secure, and you have my thanks.
I'm looking for work.
Skjor was looking for you earlier.
What does he want?
Don't know. He just said he needed to talk to you before you do anything else. I don't like making him angry, but there is some work for you if you want it.
There you are.
You wanted to see me?
I did. Your time, it seems, has come.
What do you mean?
Last week, a scholar came to us. He said he knew where we could find another fragment of Wuthrad. He seemed a fool to me, but if he's right, the honor of the Companions demand that we seek it out.
I would be honored to retrieve it.
There's a fine line between respect and bootlicking, new blood. But I like your spirit. We've decided this will be your trial. Do well, and you'll be counted among the Companions. Farkas will be your shield sibling on this venture, whelp. He'll answer any questions you have. Try not to disappoint, or to get him killed.
Don't worry about a thing. You'll pass this trial without a hitch, I know it.
What do you need? Mm-hmm.
I hope you've readied yourself. I hope you've readied yourself.
You're going to be my shield brother?
So I'm told. Let's see if you impress.
Why did Skjor call this my trial?
I watch you to make sure you're honorable. If you are honorable and strong, then I can call you sister.
What is Wuthrad?
Ysgramor was the hero who started the Companions. Wuthrad was his weapon. He came from the ancient homeland and killed all the elves. But not all of them, because some of them are still here.
Who was this scholar?
A smart man came and told us about a blade piece. Skjor thinks you should find it, and I'm supposed to watch you.
I'll meet you at Dustman's Cairn.
Don't delay, Shield Sister.
I'm curious to see Dustman's Cairn. The ancient Nords could have left more behind than a shard of an axe.
Aye.
I'm here if you need me.
Fresh baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
Bits and baubles for sale. All crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim. Bits and baubles for sale. All crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
Who's the best blacksmith in Skyrim?
I can tell you're new around here asking a question like that. My husband Eorland tends the Skyforge up at Jorvaskr, the Companions' mead hall. There's no finer smith in the Nine Halls. You should ask him about his work. It's the only subject that'll get him talking. Well, that and maybe those stuck-up, dung-sniffing Battleborns.
The Battleborns?
Don't even get me started on that lot. They put on airs like there's something special. Oh, sure, they've got money, but they ain't got a shred of honor between them. Grey Mane. Now that's a name fills you with pride. We've got roots in Whiterun. We've got history. You take care of yourself now.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale. Life's hard enough with all these men propositioning me. But that bard is the worst.
Someone giving you trouble?
That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast.
What brings you to the market?
I'm stocking up on supplies. Not that it's any of your business.
If you want to try, go right ahead.
My
I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of
I
his,
doubt you
though.
even set foot outside of the Cloud District. What would you know about the beasts?
You get a lot of attention from men.
You've got no idea. Half the men in Whiterun have proposed to me. Some were even single. They'll never understand. No amount of flowers or honeyed words are going to change my mind. Right now, all that matters is my daughter Mila. No man's going to get between me and my little girl. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the Bannered Mare from Hulda.
You're looking to become a merchant?
Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madran. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done.
Maybe I can help you.
You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future?
Here's your mammoth tusk.
Thank you. This should turn that old cat's gaze. Maybe I'll be able to become a caravaneer myself one day. As promised, let me show you a thing or two about bargaining. Don't want some shifty merchant giving you a raw trade. Farewell.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Did you kill all this game yourself?
Oh yes. Hunting is my great passion. That's why my brother and I opened a shop to sell hunting supplies. It's the Drunken Huntsman, down by the main gate. He tends the store, and I've got this stall. Good hunting.
Bits and baubles for sale. All crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
I'm a bard by trade. Perhaps you've heard of me. Carlotta put you up to this, didn't she? I'm sorry, but that fiery widow is mine. She just doesn't know it yet.
She's not yours. Stop this nonsense.
Maybe you're right. I guess I just didn't want anyone to think I couldn't handle one lass. On my honor, I won't bother Carlotta ever again. It's the leaving that's hardest, I know.
Need something?
Think you can go blade to blade with me? You'd be dead in 6 seconds.
You think you can take me on?
And why not? I could beat anyone in this city, barehanded. 100 gold says I knock your hide to the ground.
You're on.
Just fists. No weapons, no magic, no crying. Let's go. Come on, let's see what you're made of. Ah!
Come on! Fight. Keep those.
That the best you can do? That it? That your best? Not so tough now, are you? Well, well. Another mag...
Did.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom? You don't really know a woman till you had a strong drink and a fist fight with her.
You must really love to fight.
The heat of the battle is the fire that forges the strongest blades. It's an old Nord proverb. That, and a true Nord never misses a chance to test her worth.
Sounds like you've got a grudge.
You've been talking to those companions? Too hot-headed, they cried. Weak, pathetic cowards, the lot of them.
Why'd the companions reject you?
It wasn't my fault. I told them over and over that it was an accident. They wanted me to prove my worth. So they threw me up against a young whelp of a lad, hardly old enough to grow his first chin hairs. I guess they thought a woman wasn't strong enough to hurt him. I didn't mean for him to die. Why would I want that? I just lost control. Good. Chat time's over.
Foolish old woman. You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Nothing. And what of my son, What of Thorold? Is he nothing? So don't talk to me about suffering.
Your son chose his side and he chose poorly, and now he's gone. Such is the way of war. The sooner you accept his loss, the better.
I will never accept his death. My son still lives, I feel it in my heart. So tell me, Battleborns, where is he? Where are you holding my Thorold?
Do you believe this old hag? Holding him? Why, I've got him in my cellar. He's my prisoner. Face it, coward. Your stupid son is dead. He died a storm-cloaked traitor. And you best keep your mouth shut before you suffer the same.
Come on, Father. There's nothing more to be said here.
Fresh-baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
All I can think about is my son, my Thorold. They say that he was killed, but I know better. I know my son is alive. Those Battleborn, they're in with the Imperials. They know it too, and yet they lie to my very face.
How do you know they're lying?
It's not wise to discuss it here. Please, if you truly wish to help, meet me at my home. I'll tell you the whole story.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale. Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions. You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil. Pardon me, but do I detect a case of the rattles? I've got something for that.
Can I use the alchemy lab?
Long as you clean up. You know how to use it, right? Mix a couple of ingredients together, see what happens. A little wheat and blisterwort makes a healing potion, if you didn't know. We have plenty of ingredients for sale, too.
I have some frost salts for you from Farengar.
Ah, splendid, splendid. It's for a special brew I'm working on. A love elixir like none other. Maybe I'll test it on Farengar first. Oh, but I suppose you expect some compensation. Here. These potions should suffice.
So you're a healer?
Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the restoration school, but something just as good. Within these walls, I have all that I need to brew a potion for nearly any ailment. If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed.
You ever think of returning to Cyrodiil?
Why? Because I'm a proud citizen of the Empire? Because the Stormcloaks only want Nords in Skyrim? The Stormcloaks can rot in oblivion for all I care. I've lived in this city for 20 years. 20! Kaidan, you look like you've taken a few knocks. Might be time to invest in a proper healing potion.
Invest? Sounds more like extortion.
Extortion? No. Expert pricing. The art of knowing exactly how much you're willing to pay.
Alright. How much for the potion?
Oh, only a few septims more than what you're thinking.
That's hardly reassuring.
Fine, let's haggle. You tell me a price, and I'll tell you why it's not good enough.
50 septims.
You think I'm giving away my finest work for 50?
Thought I would at least try.
Admirable effort. 80.
Fine, but if this potion's weak, I'm coming back.
And buying another one. You see how this works? If there's anything I can help.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale. Straight from the fields and orchards of Whiterun to your table. Really? You convinced that lute player to stop chasing me? I'd thank the gods, but I'll settle for thanking you. Here's some coin for your help. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
I can tell you're a discriminating customer. Perhaps you're a wealthy one, too.
This place sells a lot of crap.
Everything's for sale, my friend. You need visit no other shops today. I can tell you're a discriminating customer. Perhaps you're a wealthy one, too, hmm? Ah, my favorite customer. It is great to see you again.
What do you want, Belethor?
Friend, I am in need of your assistance. Remember when I said if I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second?
Don't tell me.
Well, I did have a sister, and I am ashamed to say it, I did sell her. It was a mistake, and it was only supposed to be temporary. And now I'm starting to miss her. I know you are very capable and heroic, so will you find it in your heart to help a desperate brother reunite with his beloved sister?
How can I say no to you, Belethor?
Great! You should talk to Isolde first. That's whom I sold my sister to.
It's a fine day with you around.
Belethor told me he sold you his sister.
Ah, yes. But that was quite a while ago. She is no longer working for me.
Where is she now?
I told her she should go see the world, try new things, explore new avenues of career growth, step outside of her comfort zone.
So you sold her?
Yes, to Madran, one of the Khajiit caravaneers, for valuable business insight regarding the sleeping tree sap.
I ain't done nothing.
I work with my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days.
I work for Belethor at the general goods store.
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
Need any help around the forge?
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. All right, then. Have you met my... That's a decent weapon you've made there. I help my father in more ways than people realize.
Here's an iron dagger.
Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. Mm-hmm. You think... Yes?
I've sharpened the iron dagger.
This looks good. You put time into your blades, they'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack. Mm-hmm. Need some? Out with it.
Here's that leather you wanted.
Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need. Until next time. Have you met? I help my father in more ways than people realize.
Here's a hide helmet.
I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there. All right, then. Yes? I'm waiting.
I've tempered the hide helmet.
You have talent. Keep working at your craft and you'll be a fine smith one day. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you will remember me when you're making Skyforged steel, huh?
Do you work the forge all day?
Aye, that I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane someday. In fact, I just finished my best piece of work. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgroof the Greater. It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll accept it, but... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the Jarl's steward. He'll know the right time to present it to him.
I'll do it.
Thanks. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. Ah, how my heart soars to look upon a Sister Bosmer. Please, how can I serve your hunting needs? Hello, friend. In the market for some hunting supplies?
Why the name Drunken Huntsman?
Yes, I hear that question often. My brother Honorius and I came up with it one night after consuming rather too much mead. After our drinks, we went out for a moonlight hunt. We got separated, and in his drunken state, my brother mistook me for a deer. He shot an arrow that pierced my, well, rump. After such a memorable adventure, we knew we had the name for our shop. Thank you very much for your business.
Damn those Greymanes to oblivion.
You tried mercenary work?
Back the storm
It might suit you.
They'll get what's coming to them.
What were you two arguing about?
My Sapphire doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room.
Do you need help finding the sword?
I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
I know all too well how it feels to lose the one thing that ties you to your family. I'm glad that you offered to help Amrin. He's a good man.
Welcome to our home.
Mother, what's the meaning of this? Who have you brought into our home?
Avrelstein, put that down. She's here to help us find Thorold.
How do we know she's not spying for the Battleborn? This was foolish. We can't trust anyone. Who knows what they'll do if they find me here.
I can't take any more of this. No weapons, please. Let's just talk.
All right, Mother.
You lost.
So, you're here to help?
Yes, absolutely. What can I do?
I know that Thorald's not dead. I just know it. The Imperials have him and are keeping him somewhere, but I don't know where. Those damned Battleborns, they know something. They're hiding it. They practically taunt us with it. They must have some sort of proof. There's gotta be something in that house of theirs. I just know it. I don't dare leave the house myself, so I need your help.
What sort of proof do you need?
Anything that confirms that Thorald isn't dead, but is being held captive. I know those Battleborns have it. They'd be hiding it, of course. Wouldn't want it to get out that they've been lying this whole time. But you might be able to butter them up enough to lower their guard.
Why do you think the Battleborns are involved?
The Battleborns, the Emperor's biggest bootlickers here in Whiterun. Their connections to the Empire and the Legion are well known. When Thorald didn't return home, there was no question in my mind. They knew Thorald supported the Stormcloaks, knew he was gonna aid them in battle, made sure he didn't come back. Locked him up someplace to get back at my family. I'm sure of it. Best if you didn't mention to anyone that you saw me here.
Wait, I know you.
Imperial Missive by General Tullius about the Thalmor imprisonment of a Whiterun citizen. It has come to my attention that inquiries have been made as to the whereabouts of one Thorald Greymane. It is my duty to inform you that Thalmor agents have taken possession of the prisoner and have escorted him to the Northwatch Keep. I don't think I need to elaborate. It is in everyone's best interest if the matter is dropped entirely. I trust there will be no further inquiries as to this matter.
Well, I'm not on either side of this war, but no one should be left to suffer in the hands of the Thalmor scum. Let's go rescue this man.
Do you have news? Did you find something?
I have proof that Thorald lives.
I knew it. Let me see, please. The Thalmor. By the 9, it's worse than I thought. So, Northwatch Keep. Then we know where to hit him.
You're going to assault Northwatch Keep?
I'll do anything if it means saving my brother. You'll join us, won't you? Thorald can't be left to those monsters.
Let me see if I can bring him back on my own, without bloodshed.
What? You, alone, reasoning with the Thalmor? That's madness, friend. You're serious, aren't you? Very well. I'll give you a chance. But if you can't do it, I will.
I spend so much time among the dead, I sometimes forget how much I miss the company of the living. Tell me, do you believe in mighty Archae, god of life and death?
The god of death? I know him well.
I'm glad to know that, because I need your help. You see, I've lost something precious.
What did you lose?
My amulet of Archae. It's the source of my divine powers and also a sacred badge of office. I misplaced it in the catacombs. I'd looked for it, but I have been hearing noises down there. I fear the dead have become restless. Without that amulet, I'm powerless to confront them. Would you be willing to search for it?
I'll find your amulet.
I'll just wait here and make sure nothing foul escapes the catacombs. The blessing of Archae be upon you.
Why did he leave his amulet behind in the first place? What was going on in there? What was he doing in there? Never mind. I don't want to know. All these dead bodies make for poor company.
I spend so much time among the dead, I sometimes forget how much I miss the company of the living.
I found your amulet.
Oh, thank Archae! Please, take this gold for your troubles. The blessing of Archae be upon you.
Tools, wares, and weapons. All for sale at fair prices. The longer we travel the roads of Skyrim, the more empty this land seems. I welcome you, friend. How may I serve you?
Isolde told me she sold you Belethor's sister.
Not my problem.
Belethor really misses his sister. Can you show some compassion?
Okay, you've talked me into it. It is all in this note.
Caravan Captain's Note. We met with Sadras and picked up the cargo. At least their captain seemed in better spirits. But the others looked exhausted. To make matters worse, the air was flush with news about the caravans who didn't make it. Sieged by dwarven automatons on the road to Whiterun. My worry is such fears will find their way into the minds of my men. Especially when the details of their stories seem to corroborate, it only serves to throw more kindling on the flame. Hopefully the other captains have a plan. We have had a few deserters already and will need every available body if these attacks continue. It'll be difficult to convince the men to leave the safety of the tavern for the terrors of the unknown. Even without this dwarven nonsense, the road ahead will only get more perilous given the copious bandits, wolves, and other dangers on the road. Captain Inotis has asked us to take a detour with the Dres caravan to Falkreath. Staying off the main road might provide us with some cover.
Letter from Maven. Christophe, upon reading your last letter, I was deeply touched. You're right, I was angry. But now I realize my anger was misplaced. It's time to leave our disagreements in the past and rekindle our friendship. I'll be sending someone to fetch you and bring you to Riften. I wish to avoid a scene, so he'll be calling at night. Make sure you pack all your belongings securely, as the ride could be rather treacherous. Maven Blackbriar.
For sale, 1 tamed mountain goat. Able to carry a hefty amount of weight to the throat of the world and back again. Gives good milk. If interested in purchasing, see Halvor in Rorikstead. Alvar. Madron's sales contract. Date 17th of last seed 48201. This sales contract, thereafter referred to as the agreement, is entered in between the bandits of Nilheim and Madron's Khajiit caravan, collectively referred to as the parties. Property details. Madron's Khajiit caravan agrees to sell their housekeeper, Layla, to the bandits of Nilheim in exchange for the freedom of Madron's Khajiit caravan as previously agreed upon by both parties. Consideration. The bandits of Nilheim, in consideration for the sale of Layla, hereby release Madron's Khajiit caravan and grant them their freedom from any claims, liabilities, or obligations. Purchase price. The agreed purchase price for Layla is the freedom of Madron's Khajiit caravan as previously discussed and agreed upon by the parties. Delivery. Layla, the housekeeper, shall be transferred to the bandits of Nilheim upon the execution of this agreement. The bandits of Nilheim assume full responsibility for Layla's well-being and employment. Representations and warranties. Madron's Khajiit caravan represents and warrants that they have the lawful authority to sell Layla, and that she is fit for employment as a housekeeper, as per the terms discussed and agreed upon by the parties. Entire agreement. This agreement constitutes the entire understanding between the parties, and supersedes any prior discussion or agreements, whether written or oral. In witness whereof, the parties have executed the sales contract of receipt as of the day first written above. Bandits of Nilheim, Ragnar, Madron's Khajiit caravan, Madron.
Goods and wares of all kinds, and all can be yours.
I've seen my share of Tamriel. Nothing compares to the wilds of Skyrim. She's beautiful, as she is dangerous.
Mind yourself with that fire. Don't burn anything down now.
A Mercenary's Journal. 11th of Morningstar, 4201. Something strange happened today. I was hanging out at the Silver Blood Inn in Markarth when out of nowhere this strange orc was standing in front of me. Normally, I have a fighting reflex when I see an orc. They make me stand on edge, hand over my weapon, ready for a brawl. I've learned to be careful with their kind from way too many violent encounters. But this orc was different. He was dressed up in fancy clothes, well-mannered and well-spoken. What struck me even more was that this orc didn't smell of blood, sweat, and 2-day-old stale booze. He smelled pleasant, as if he'd stepped freshly out of a bath. It was so un-orcish. He spoke with fancy words, and I only caught about half of what he said. He was sent by his master to convey a message. He then took out a letter and gave it to me. It was an invitation from an Altman noble named Solarian. He invited me to come to his mansion to discuss a job offer. Apparently the guy is a collector of antiques, and he wants me to collect some valuables for him. Strangely, before I could even finish reading the letter, the fancy orc had already left the inn. This whole encounter was so weird. Is this for real? How did this guy find me? Solarian says he'll pay me a very, very large fee for the job. If that is a serious offer, it might be worth checking out. If not, and this is some sick joke, I'll make him pay dearly. High elves are particularly fun when pushed into a corner. I've heard them squeal and beg for mercy when faced with certain death. I might also have some fun with that orc. It can't be that tough, after all. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's sleep on this offer first. Tomorrow I'll decide what to do next. 13th of Morningstar 4E201. I still can't believe it yet. That Altmer cook was actually serious. Today, I went out to meet Solarian. When I arrived at his huge manor, the orc lapdog opened the door for me and showed me to his master. That place is huge. I have to admit that I was still skeptical when I walked through the door, half expecting some kind of ambush from an old enemy. But once I met Solarian, everything became clear to me. The elf told me he's a collector of old and valuable artifacts. Many of his possessions were already displayed throughout the house, but as he told me, his hunger for valuables is never stilled. And that's why he needs me. The job is to track down a number of extremely valuable rings. They are all treasures from ancient times, each with its own dark history. It sounded like an easy enough job at first, until Solarian explained to me a bit more about these treasures. All these rings have names, which in my experience is always a bad thing. There are 5 rings he wants me to find. The first 3 rings he told me about, I didn't know. The Mentor's ring is desired by wizards for its magical powers, while the Warlock's ring is wanted by spellblades. Then there's the ring of Finis, or Finasius, something like that. It gives its owner strong defenses. The Vampiric ring is something I heard horror stories about, a ring that can suck the life out of anybody. I've also heard of the ring of Khajiit. It's a Daedric artifact, and nothing good ever comes of those things. I've always made sure to steer clear of all things Daedric, since it's usually a sure way to get killed. Solarian's stories about the rings weren't even the strangest thing he told me during our meeting. The elf told me that he's a collector of everything valuable, but he is so against his will. He feels the irresistible urge to collect things. He says collecting is in his family's blood, and he warned me nothing good can come of it. His father was a passionate collector of antiquities, but his obsession ended up killing him about 100 years ago. Strange story. I can't help but wonder what's behind that. Normally, I would have declined a job like this. The powers involved are too big to play around with. But then Solarian told me exactly how big that royalty fee he'd pay me is. I can still barely believe the offer he gave me. I've never received a payment this big. If I do this job, I can live out my days someplace warm and far away from Skyrim. It took little more thought for me to accept the job. Finally, Solarian further explained to me that he had already hired another mercenary to find the rings. This thief was off to a good start, too. He located some of the artifacts and even stole the ring of Khajiit in Whiterun. Shortly after, though, he was caught and imprisoned there. A thief getting caught after acquiring the greatest asset any thief could possess. Sounds beyond ironic to me. Solarian sent an informant to Whiterun to get in contact with the thief. I'm to go to Whiterun to speak to this informant and carry on with the job. I think this meeting was a true blessing. I'm still half in disbelief, and I can't really think straight anymore. I need rest now, and early in the morning I'll leave for Whiterun. Soon, when this is over, I'll find myself retiring in style. One last job is all it takes. 19th of Morningstar 4E201. I took a room for tonight at the Bannered Mare in Whiterun. I met the informant today just before dusk. Apparently, the thief got executed this morning outside of the city walls. He hid the ring and his notes somewhere in the prison dungeons. There's no chance for him to smuggle them out. So it seems I'll have to go in there and get them. According to the informant, there's a secret tunnel underneath the dungeon. The thief managed to toss his stuff down there. I should find a way down there and look for them. Tonight I'll stay out and watch guard movements around the prison, and tomorrow night I'll make my move and break in. Nilheim Guard's Journal. Day 0. Today our bandit gang intercepted a Khajiit caravan led by a sly cat named Madron. We demanded their valuables, but Madron proposed a bizarre deal. Freedom in exchange for a housekeeper. Why not? Our lair is starting to smell putrid. Day 12. The housekeeper, Layla, has proven to be a nightmare. Her cleanliness demands are relentless. We're forced to scrub every nook and cranny, and she scolds us for the slightest speck of dirt. It's becoming unbearable. Day 23. We've had enough of Layla and her obsessive cleanliness. The bandits unanimously voted for a clean break. We are selling her to passing warlocks from Northwatch Keep for gold. We long for the freedom from her constant scrutiny. Day 24. We bid farewell to Layla, our housekeeper turned nightmare. The warlocks now have her, and we hope to never cross paths with her again. Our lair will return to its beloved, disheveled state.
Wait, I know you. It's actually quite beautiful here. Battle of Champions. There's talk in the tavern about a battle in Whiterun between two champions, one Stormcloak, one Imperial. Yet, while the stage has been set, the actors have not. Isarald Thrice-Pierced has made it clear that the Stormcloak champion must prove their mettle by bringing him the pelts of 5 snow bears. While the task seems daunting, rumor has it that a warrior named Clesia Wolfclaw of Bruma has already slain the beasts and has made her way to Kynesgrove. For their side, Legate Adventus Cassionius has made no mention of any ritual in selecting their champion. It makes you wonder if any willing soldier will do. "36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 34. When Vivek left the Ministry of Truth and went back to the space that was not a space, from the provisional house he looked into the middle world to find the 8th and final and mightiest monster called Golga, Morgil, and more. The wise must look elsewhere for this string of power. Vivek called to his side the Hortator, and this was the first time that Nerevar had ever been to the provisional house. He had the same vision that Vivek had so many years ago, that of the 2-headed ruling king. Who is that? He wondered. Vivek said, the Red Jewel of Conquest. Nerevar, perhaps because he was frightened, became vexed at his lord's answer. Why are you always so evasive? Vivek told the Hortator that to be otherwise was to betray his nature. Together they moved into the middle world to a village near where Vivek had been found by Ayem and Sect. The 8th monster was there, but he did not act much like a monster. He sat with his legs in the ocean and his troubled look on his face. When he saw his mother father, he asked why he should have to die and return to oblivion. Vivek told the eighth monster that to be otherwise was to betray his nature. Since this did not seem to satisfy the monster, and Vivek still had a touch of I Am's mercy, he said, "The fire is mine. Let it consume thee and make a secret door at the altar of Padomek, in the house of Bothia, where we become safe and looked after." The monster accepted Muatra with a peaceful look, and his bones became the foundation for the city of the dead, Anon Narcissus. Nerevar put away his axe, which had been at the ready, and frowned. "Why," he said, "did you ask me to come if you knew the eighth monster would give in so easily?" Vivek looked at the Hortator for a long time. Nerevar understood. "Do not betray your nature. Answer as you will." Vivek said, "I brought you here because I knew the mightiest of my issue would succumb to Muatra without argument. If only I gave him consolation first." Nerevar looked at Vivek for a long time. Vivek understood. "Say the words, Hortator." Nerevar said, "Now I am the mightiest of your children. Let this sermon be consolation to those who read it that are destined to die. The ending of the words is Almsivi." A History of Daggerfall. A relatively unbiased analysis of Daggerfall in the Iliac Bay by Odiva Galwood. There is sufficient archaeological evidence for the modern historian to believe that there's been some variety of human settlement in the city-state of Daggerfall, starting at least 1,000 years before recorded history. First use of the name Daggerfall to refer to the area around the current capital was probably in the 246th year of the First Era. The north half of the Iliac Bay, in fact all of the current province of Hyrok, was conquered by invading Nords who brought a rough sort of civilization with them. One of the first civilized acts of the Nords performed was a census, the so-called Book of Life. Listed on page 933 of the book is this entry: "North of the highest bluffs, south of the moors, west of the hills, and east of the sea is called Daggerfall. 110 men, 93 women, 13 children under 8 years of age, 58 cows, 7 bulls, 63 chickens, 11 cocks, 38 hogs live here." Nearly 4,000 years after the census was taken, we can see that these 216 people have multiplied heartily. The last census in the year 3E401 lists the population as over 110,000. It is always difficult to find an exact number, but the capital city of Daggerfall certainly outnumbers her rivals, Sentinel and Wayrest. It has been a consistent, if not actually helpful, amusement of historians to find the origin of place names. Daggerfall, by tradition, is said to refer to the knife the first chieftain threw to form the borders of his lands. But there are other legends that may have equal validity. The Daggerfall entry from the Book of Life actually supports one theory about the reason for Daggerfall's longevity. The people were coastal fishermen, but they also found the land itself sufficiently rich to support raising livestock. This inclination of the early citizenry toward reinforcing their principal products brought stability to a fickle land. Daggerfall thrived through the years of the Skyrim occupancy. When the Wild Hunt killed King Borges of Winterhold in 1E369, the Northlands engaged in the War of Succession, and Skyrim, greatly weakened, lost her holdings in High Rock and Morrowind. The Iliac Bay had become important strategically, and Daggerfall began to expand her military. There were multiple opportunities for her to exercise this army and navy during the Durrani conflicts with the force of the Alessian Reform. The Durranis were native Bretons, and Bretons are hardly ever given to excessive religion. Daggerfall became a minor base of operations for the Durranis and their allies. Raven Durrani, the enchantress whose magic helped secure the final victory over the Alessians in the Glenumbria Moors, was one of the earliest occupants of Castle Daggerfall. Over the centuries that followed, the Durranis fell into obscurity, but Daggerfall continued her growth. In 1E609, King Thagor of Daggerfall defeated the army of Glenpoint and became the preeminent economic, cultural, and military force in southern High Rock, a position the kingdom has precariously kept ever since. Ironically, it was another successful military exercise 370 years later that ended Daggerfall's monopoly of bay trade, the annihilation of the Orcish capital Orsinium by a joint effort of Daggerfall, the new kingdom of Sentinel, and the now extinct order of Diagna. Scattering of the orcs from southeastern High Rock made the river route to the bay more accessible. The tiny village of Wayrest grew like a flower that no longer feared the mow. In 20 years, Wayrest's trade profits equaled Daggerfall's. In 40 years, Wayrest was the acknowledged master of Iliac Bay trade. In 120 years, Wayrest became the kingdom of Wayrest. Kingdom of Sentinel did not exhibit Wayrest's aggrandizement during the First Era. The Red Guards were warriors learning the ways of merchants, and their land was enemy enough to keep the population checked. Indeed, the number of people in all areas of the Iliac Bay was halved once in the First Era by the Thracian Plague, once again by the War of Righteousness, and a third time by the invading Akaviri. If Daggerfall had not spent its first 1,000 years preparing for the battles of the next 1,000 years, it is indeed conceivable that the Iliac Bay today might be Akavirian. The Second Era, like the latter part of the First Era, is a tapestry of wars, insurrections, and plagues. Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest continued to expand and improve their military and economic positions in the Bay. Daggerfall and Wayrest would transpose positions as major trading centers of the Bay, and Daggerfall and Sentinel likewise bandied over which was the superior military power. The Iliac Bay has continued to hold an important position in the imperial government of the Third Era. Rarely allies, though the combined armies, in opposition to the Cameron usurper in the 3rd century of the Third Era, is a notable exception, but not always enemies. Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest have weathered the storms of contention, plague, famine, and pestilence. The recent War of Bettany was typical of Iliac Bay warfare, sincere, frighteningly violent, and peaceably resolved.
Chance's Folly by Zilmak Golg, The Folly of a Double-Crosser. By the time she was 16, Minerva Aeolos had been an unwelcome guest in every shop and manor in Balmora. Sometimes she would take everything of value within. Other times it was enough to experience the pure pleasure of finding a way past the locks and traps. In either situation, she would leave a pair of dice in a prominent location as her calling card to let the owners know who had burgled them. The mysterious ghost became known to the locals as Chance. A typical conversation in Balmora at this time. "My dear, whatever happened to that marvelous necklace of yours?" "My dear, it was taken by Chance." The only time when Chance disliked her hobby was when she miscalculated and she came upon an owner or a guard. So far, she had never been caught or even seen, but dozens of times she had uncomfortably close encounters. There came a day when she felt it was time to expand her reach. She considered going to Vivec or Gnissis, but one night, at the 8 Plates, she heard a tale of the Heron ancestral tomb, an ancient tomb filled with traps and possessing hundreds of years of the Heron family treasures. The idea of breaking the spell of the Heron tomb and gaining the fortune within appealed to Chance, but facing the Guardians was outside of her experience. While she was considering her options, she saw Ulster Moresby sitting at a table nearby, by himself, as usual. He was a huge brute of a Breton, who had a reputation as a gentle eccentric, a great warrior who had gone mad and paid more attention to the voices in his head than to the world around him. If she must have a partner in this enterprise, Chance decided, this man would be perfect. He would not demand or understand the concept of getting an equal share of the booty. If worse came to worse, he would not be missed if the inhabitants of the Heron tomb were too much for him, or if Chance found his company tiresome and elected to leave him behind. "Ulster, I don't think we've ever met, but my name is Minerva," she said, approaching the table. "I'm fancying a trip to the Heron ancestral tomb. If you think you could handle the monsters, I could take care of unlocking doors and popping traps. What do you think?" The Breton took a moment to reply, as if considering the counsel of the voices in his head. Finally, he nodded his head in the affirmative, mumbling, "Yes, yes, yes. Proper rock, hot steel, chitin, walls beyond doors, 53, 2 months and back." "Splendid," said Chance, not the least put off by his rambling. "We'll leave early tomorrow." When Chance met Ulster the next morning, he was wearing chitin armor, and had armed himself with an unusual blade that glowed faintly of enchantment. As they began their trek, she tried to engage him in conversation, but his responses were so nonsensical that she quickly abandoned the attempts. A sudden rainstorm swelled over the plain, dousing them. But as she was wearing no armor, and Ulster was wearing slick chitin, their progress was not impeded. Into the dark recesses of the Heron tomb they delved. Her instincts had been correct. They made very good partners. She recognized the ancient snap wires, deadfalls, and brittlebacks before they were triggered, and cracked all manner of lock, simple tumbler, combination, twisted hasp, double catch, varieties from antiquity with no modern names, rusted heaps that would have been dangerous to open even if one possessed the actual key. Ulster, for his part, slew scores of bizarre fiends, the likes of which Chance, the city girl, had never seen before. His enchanted blade's spell of fire was particularly effective against the frost Atronachs. He even saved her when she lost her footing and nearly plummeted into a shadowy crack in the floor. "Not to hurt thyself," he said, his face showing genuine concern. "There walls beyond doors, and 53, drain ring, 2 months and back, proper rock. Come, Mother Chance." Chance had not been listening to much of Ulster's babbling, but when he said Chance, she was startled. She had introduced herself to him as Minerva. Could it be that the peasants were right, and that when madmen spoke, they were talking to the Daedra prince Sheogorath, who gave them advice and information beyond their ken? Or was it rather, more sensibly, that Ulster was merely repeating what he heard tell of in Balmora, where in recent years Chance had become synonymous with lockpicking? As the two continued on, Chance thought of Ulster's mumblings. He had said chitin when they met as if it had just occurred to him, and the chitin armor that he wore had proven useful. Likewise, hot steel. What could walls beyond doors mean? Or 2 months and back? What numbered 53? The notion that Ulster possessed secret knowledge about her and the tomb they were in began to unnerve Chance. She made up her mind then to abandon her companion once the treasure had been found. He had cut through the living and undead guardians of the dungeon. If she merely left by the path they had entered, she would be safe without a defender. One phrase, he said, made perfect sense to her: drain ring. At one of the manors in Balmora, she had picked up a ring purely because she thought it was pretty. It was not until later that she discovered that it could be used to sap other people's vitality. Could Ulster be aware of this? Would he be taken by surprise if she used it on him? She formulated her plan on how best to desert the Breton as they continued down the hall. Abruptly the passage ended with a large metal door secured by a golden lock. Using her pick, Chance snapped away the 2 tumblers and bolt and swung the door open. The treasure of the Heron tomb was within. Chance quietly slipped her glove off her hand, exposing the ring as she stepped into the room. There were 53 bags of gold within. As she turned, the door closed between her and the Breton. On her side, it did not resemble a door anymore, but a wall. Walls beyond doors. For many days, Chance screamed and screamed as she tried to find a way out of the room. For some days after that, she listened dully to the laughter of Sheogorath within her own head. 2 months later, when Ulster returned, she was dead. He used a rock to prop open the door and remove the gold.
Darkest Darkness. In Morrowind both worshippers and sorcerers summoned lesser Daedra, and bound Daedra as servants and instruments. Most Daedric servants can be summoned by sorcerers only for very brief periods, within the most fragile and tenuous frameworks of command and binding. This fortunately limits their capacity for mischief, though in only a few minutes most of these servants can do terrible harm to their summoners as well as their enemies. Worshippers may bind other Daedric servants to this plane through rituals and pacts. Such arrangements result in the Daedric servant remaining on this plane indefinitely, or at least until their bodily manifestations on this plane are destroyed, precipitating their supernatural essences back to oblivion. Whenever Daedra are encountered at Daedric ruins or in tombs, they are almost invariably long-term visitors to our plane. Likewise, lesser entities bound by their Daedra lords into weapons and armor may be summoned for brief periods, or may persist indefinitely so long as they are not destroyed and banished. The class of bound weapons and bound armors summoned by temple followers and conjurers are examples of short-term bindings. Daedric artifacts like Mehun's razor and the mask of Clavicus Vile are examples of long-term bindings. The tribunal temple of Morrowind has incorporated the veneration of Daedra as lesser spirits subservient to the immortal Amsivi, the tribune godhead of Almalexia, Sotasil and Vivek. These subordinate Daedra are divided into the good Daedra and the bad Daedra. The good Daedra have willingly submitted to the authority of Almsivi. The bad Daedra are rebels who defy Almsivi, treacherous kin who are most often adversaries than allies. The good Daedra are Belethor, Azura and Mephala. The Hunger is a powerful and violent lesser Daedra associated with Belethor, father of plots. A sinuous, long-limbed, long-tailed creature with a beast-skulled head, noted for its paralyzing touch and its ability to disintegrate weapons and armor. The Winged Twilight is a messenger of Azura, goddess of dusk and dawn. Winged Twilights resemble the feral harpies of the West, though the feminine aspects of the Winged Twilights are more ravishing, and their long, sharp, hooked tails are immeasurably more deadly. Spider Daedra are the servants of Mephala, taking the form of spider humanoid centaurs, with a naked upper head, torso, and arm of human proportions, mounted on the 8 legs and armored carapace of a giant spider. Unfortunately, these Daedra are so fierce and irrational that they cannot be trusted to heed the commands of the spinner. As a consequence, few sorcerers are willing to either summon or bind such creatures in Morrowind. The bad Daedra are Mehun's Dagon, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Molag Bal. 3 lesser Daedra are associated with Mehun's Dagon: the agile and pesky Scamp, the ferocious and beast-like Clanfia, and the noble and deadly Drimora. The crocodile-headed humanoid Daedra called Daedroth is a servant of Molag Bal, while the giant but dim-witted Ogrim is a servant of Malakath. Sheogorath's lesser Daedra, the Golden Saint, a half-clothed human female in appearance, is highly resistant to magic and a dangerous spellcaster. Another type of lesser Daedra often encountered in Morrowind is the Atronak, or Elemental Daedra. Atronachs have no binding kinship or alignments with the Daedra lords, serving one realm or another at whim, shifting sides according to seduction, compulsion, or opportunity.
Aye?
Let's rest here.
Aye. I think we've earned it.
Kaidan, can I ask you something?
Sure thing.
Actually, I'd like to ask you something else.
Aye, all right.
Tell me about yourself.
Ask away.
Can I ask you how Brynjar died?
Exposure. That's what the priests called it anyway. See, Brynjar fought in the Great War, but he lost his faith in the Empire after the Concordant was signed. That, joined with whatever horrors he'd seen in action, had scarred something in his mind. Happens all too often. So, he tried to fight those demons with drink. I'd grown up seeing it, so I didn't quite notice how he'd worsened over the years. One winter night, he went out in search of something stronger, and they found his body the next morning, lying on the steps to the temple, frozen solid. I don't know if he meant to kill himself, but it was clear he didn't care if he did or not.
I'm sorry, it must have been painful.
I wasn't sad. I was angry. He could have died fighting, or as an old man surrounded by some family, or in any other way that might have had some bloody dignity. Instead, he just left.
He was sick, Kai. That doesn't change the good he did.
I suppose you're right. And a more forgiving person than I am. Perhaps I could learn a thing or two from you.
You'll find peace, it just takes time.
Thank you for, listening.
Did you feel like talking?
Would you mind indulging me a little?
What would you like to know about me?
Is there anyone you fancy?
You, of course.
You flatter me.
Who do you fancy then?
Maybe one day you'll find out.
Tell me about yourself.
What's got you curious?
If I'm curious, Kaidan, have you ever considered studying magic?
No, I can't say that I have.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm not sure what you want to hear.
What's your favourite colour?
My favourite colour is blue.
Tell me about yourself.
Of course. What were you wondering?
Does it bother you having scars?
No. It really doesn't bother me.
I'm just curious and don't mean any offence. After all, I have my own scars too.
Every wound leaves a scar, and every scar tells a story. A story that says, I survived.
I like that sentiment.
Aye. Me too.
Tell me about yourself.
Tell me more about yourself.
What would you like to know about me?
Who's your favourite person in all of Skyrim?
You're my favourite person.
That's good to know.
Something on your mind?
Well, a lot right now. Nothing much I want to share. Tell me what you need.
Tell me about yourself.
As you wish.
Don't you ever get tired with all the fighting we have to do?
Fighting is all I've ever known. There's a simplicity to living in the moment, to facing death, and when it might be my last breath. That struggle has always made me feel alive, and quieted the relentlessness I felt inside me.
Tell me about yourself.
What did you want to know?
Given where I found you, I'm curious. Have you ever been imprisoned before?
Definitely not.
Come on, let's get going.
I will help and protect you.